Hello, Flosstube. I'm Terry,
And I'm Jamie.
and we're the Cornhuskerstatestitchers.
Thanks for being here.
This is our first Flosstube video, and yes, we're a bit nervous, so bear with us and we'll get better.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
So we thought we'd start off with the Know Your Needleworker tag. I just found this on the internet. Found it from Whimsy Daisical. I know that a lot of other people with Flosstube, their Flosstube #1, have started out with that. So we thought it'd be a good way to get started.
Yeah. So the first question is, where do you live? And we are both in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Born and raised. Yep.
And what do you do for a living?
I am a civil engineer with the Department of Transportation, the Nebraska Department of Transportation.
Yeah, super proud of her. My husband and I own our own aviation business. So I do book work. We do aircraft maintenance. I do the book work. And I also put fabric on planes, and a lot of the older planes have fabric covering. So that's my job, is to rebuild old planes with using fabric.
Absolutely.
It's quite a process.
Yeah. And you do aircraft transportation?
Yep. Travel all over the continental US and abroad a little bit, and haul planes that don't fly anymore to whoever purchases them to get them flying.
Absolutely. I've got some great stories from my childhood for that. So, Mom, do you have any questions? Or do you have any children?
Do I? That's a question. If I claim her, this is my daughter.
Yes.
I am super proud of her.
And your son?
Yeah, I have a son too.
Super proud of him
Super
too.
proud of him. Yeah, my son is a pilot, so he's followed in his dad's footsteps, and
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, question number 4: do you have any pets?
You didn't answer.
I didn't
if you have
answer
any
children. Well, I don't have any children, so I just jumped right into the next question because I do have 3 pets. I have 3 dogs. They're very large dogs. I have 2 German Shepherds and a Rottweiler mix. He's actually an Anatolian Rottweiler. Not a lot of people know about the Anatolians. So no, I don't have children, but I do have pets.
Okay, and I also do have 2 grandchildren from my son, so two boys, which I'm super proud of, and yeah, got to go watch a baseball game this afternoon, and it's a little chilly here in Nebraska, so that's gonna be fun. May have to bring out my long johns here in September.
But it's gorgeous outside.
Yeah, the sun's finally popped out.
Yes. Pets for you?
I have 1 cat. I am a dog person. I've always had dogs, and I lost my dog to cancer and haven't been able to get another one quite yet, but I still have my cat and love her to death.
Absolutely. What are your other hobbies besides stitching?
I knit and crochet a little bit. I'm pretty bad at it, so I don't really claim it, but my first love is quilting. I am a quilter, and we actually taught ourselves together how to quilt.
Self-taught quilters.
Yeah.
Yep. So I also quilt. I do a little bit of knitting. I dabble in it. Not near as much as Mom does, but
You make a heck of a scarf.
I do make. Yep. I can make a scarf like nobody's business. But I read. Love listening to music. What else? What else do we do?
Work. We work all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not really a hobby, but yeah, that's our life. So, favorite movie? Do you have a favorite movie?
That's a really hard question for me. Because I like a lot of movies.
Yeah, you're a movie holic.
I am. I am. What about you?
My favorite's always been Pretty Woman.
Yeah.
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 I'm a sucker for the love story and that, so, and all the little one-line funnies that she does.
Yeah, that's a great movie. I like that. Favorite TV show?
Oh, I don't watch a lot of TV, so
You've always watched Grey's Anatomy.
yeah. I really would have to come back to that. I can't really think of one that I really, really like right now.
My husband and I, we do watch quite a bit of TV. I've always liked the SEAL Team, SWAT, NCIS, anything like that. I do really enjoy those. Definitely watch Grey's Anatomy. Trying to think what else. there's no
We
TV on
don't.
right now, so
Yeah, we don't really get into reality TV,
No.
so
no,
yeah,
I am not a fan.
no.
Okay.
Favorite book.
Hmm.
Do you have a favorite book?
I'm sure I do if I think about it, but
I'm the type of person where I read a book and then I forget everything about it. And
yep.
Jamie will ask me about the book. It's like, did I even read it? I can't remember. But I am reading Jenna De Leon right now, and she is really good. She is hilarious. I have caught myself laughing out loud several times.
I need to put her
So,
on my list.
yeah.
And you actually found out about her from Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching.
Yeah.
So Julie does a daily chart of the day video, and she was talking about that in one of her videos. And you started reading those and haven't stopped.
Yeah.
So those are fantastic.
They're great.
Yep.
That and Janet Ivanovich, I really like. Hers are really funny. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm reading Linda Howard books right now. I grew up on her, and I'm just rereading all of hers again. And in the process of reading the Outlander books, I haven't read all of them. I'm on 4. It's taken me quite a long time to read them. I know you've read them before.
I'm listening to them on audio.
Again.
I've read them before, and now I'm listening to them on audio when I'm driving back and forth to work. So
Yep. And you watch Outlander the series.
Yep.
I'm only on season 1. I don't want to spoil the books. But, meh.
favorite music.
Yeah.
I'm an 80s child, so
I'm an 80s child.
you're an 80s child.
I'm the product
I
of
raised
the 80s.
her. I raised her on the 80s. So just about anything 80s I love. Journey is my favorite. Steve Perry, yes.
Yep. Favorite music. I'm pretty easygoing. I do like the 80s. Yeah, definitely grew up on the 80s.
Yeah.
I love the 80s.
Survivor, all
Absolutely.
the way. Eye of the Tiger. Yep.
Survivor was my first concert.
Yep. I drug her to all kinds of concerts when
Yep.
she was little. You're welcome.
I do very much love country. Definitely the 90s country
Mm-hmm.
more than the new country. It's not near as country anymore. It's very poppy.
Yeah.
Very poppy, but
I've started, I don't want to show my age, but I've gone way back and started listening to 70s country. So things that I never thought I would like, I'm starting to like. I guess that's because I'm getting old, but Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson, yeah.
yep. I listen to those too.
Okay, so
What can I
don't
say?
feel so bad.
No. No. So question number 10, the last one. One word that best describes you.
Persistent,
Yeah, I'd call you a go-getter.
go getter. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
When
Not in
I-
a bad way. You just attack.
When I decide I want to do something, I do it. And
Yep.
I push hard and get
Yep.
it done. Even when I don't feel like doing something, I keep going and I get it done.
And I'm over here like, oh, why?
Would you
Why are we
stop
still
already?
doing this? Yep. I would say for me, cheerful has always come to mind for me.
Bubbly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bubbly. Like I said earlier, the more stressed I get, the less cheerful I am, but I still try and smile every day. So.
And heaven forbid she lacks protein because
Oh.
she gets really grouchy.
That's the truth. Oh. Okay. What's next?
So let's look at some previous finishes. We probably will be following along with the same type of outline that other people use. Just it seems to work best. And yeah.
We're
So-
not very original.
We're not original. But
Yeah. So do you want to do like your framed finishes? Or...
Yeah, I'll do. You have 2 finishes on there, so I stack things differently.
You just show them.
Okay.
You just show them. We'll go from there.
Okay. So I just finished my autumn, and this is by
Cross-eyed cricket.
Cross-eyed Cricket, the Cricket Collection. And this was so much fun. Look at that little owl on top of the T. Isn't that just adorable? Yeah, I love it.
I love the jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
You were able to knock that one out pretty quickly.
I was pretty focused on this because I really wanted to get this one done. I'm a monogamous stitcher. I always have been. And Jamie is trying to teach me how not to be. And it stresses me out.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been doing pretty good at,
Yeah,
at doing
yeah.
a lot of different things. But
I squirrel a lot, so I get very distracted by things. So I'll be working on something and my brain is already thinking about something else on what I can do next. So before I'm done with that one, I jump on to another one. And I'm not very monogamous.
yeah, but this is one that Jamie came over and said, "I can't believe you're still working on that." It's like, oh my gosh, I love it. I gotta get it done.
Yep.
I want to see what it looks like.
And now that it's done, I need to do it too.
Yeah.
Need to do it.
So some of my other finishes, I brought out my September, which is by Country Cottage Needleworks. I've done all 12 cottages. I just won't bore you with all 12 of them right at this point.
I'm still in the process of doing mine. I think I have 3 done.
These are so much fun. And then I did Harvest by Priscilla and Chelsea.
That's the hands-on design one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Hands-on design.
Designed by Priscilla.
And excuse the fingernails. I'm not a fingernail type person.
And I'm looking down because I'm trying to figure out which ones who did the one she's up next. That is up next. So you go ahead and show it, Mom.
Okay. So, okay, that's right. So this is called
It's called The Becomes.
The Becomes.
By Lila's Studio.
And this was really fun to do.
And you finished that yourself?
Yep, I finished it myself. I just bought this frame. It has a picture behind it, and I got this on clearance at, I believe, Hobby Lobby.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. And I just painted it, chalk painted it, and then stuck this right inside of it. And I glued it in, I believe, because I don't plan on changing it out to anything else. So.
Yep.
And I didn't do the fancy frilly bows and stuff. That may come later, but for now, I just felt good getting it in a frame.
Hey, at least it's up.
So why don't you go ahead and do a couple of yours, and then we'll go back to some of these others.
Okay. So this is one that I did, and Mom actually did the same one too. So this is the Quilt Time Sampler by Little House Needleworks. Absolutely loved working on it. This was one that I was monogamous on. I started it and I just couldn't put it down. So I just got a frame from Michael's, put it on sticky board with a little bit of batting and just popped it right in. And it has yet to go on my wall because I don't hang anything. So that's one thing.
I'm getting a new sewing room built, so I've done this piece, and that's going to be my first piece for my new sewing room.
Yes. Yep. And you darkened the colors up slightly.
Yeah, I darkened them. Hers were, you want to grab it again?
Yeah.
I felt like her greens, you can see them really good on the camera, but her greens are a little light for me, so I just made mine a little darker.
And I use call for colors.
Yeah.
DMC. So the other one that I've got, I haven't finished it. We put it on sticky board. This is one that I started with, and we can talk about how we started stitching later on, but I started doing a lot of kits, particularly DMC kits, and this is one of the DMC or Janlin or one of those kits that you'd get in Hobby Lobby.
Dimensions kit?
What did I say?
DMC kit.
DMC Dimensions kit. Yes, absolutely. It was one of those. But when I was working on it, this was back when I was monogamous, I would put it down for quite a long time, and it would be months and months and months, sometimes even years before I'd work on it, and I was stretching it out really bad. So we had to put it on sticky board to make sure that we could even do it.
Yeah.
And I don't know the name of it, but this is just like a little garden scape thing.
That's full coverage too.
Yep, full coverage. Got a little bit of a shadow, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't know how I'm going to finish it. We talked about putting it in a frame, but it's not standard. So we'd have to build a frame.
And there's no room on the outside to put it in a frame.
Yeah, we had to wrap it all the way around. Otherwise, it just wouldn't look right at all.
So we'll probably end up mounting it on another board covered in fabric. And
maybe put something around the edge of it to hide that a little bit.
Oh, well. That's not bad. I think it's cute.
I love it. I just feel like I'm sitting in the garden.
Be proud of it, yeah.
Yep.
That was a lot of work for someone who was pretty new at stitching.
Yeah. Yeah. So the other framed finish I have is the same one that you have over there.
Okay. Do you want to show those later then? We'll go to webs.
We can.
Or do you want to do it now?
Well, it's a finish.
Okay.
If it's in this
Well,
category.
You have finishes on here twice. So.
Yeah, but these are finishes. They're just not framed.
Okay, so
this one that we did, and we'll explain who it's from, but it was the first time that we started using fancy floss. So we bought the package that it was a color, a floss pack. So it's Little House Needleworks. I don't remember the name of it. What do I normally call
mine
it?
of the free. I always call it Liberty, but I know that's wrong.
Yeah. Let me look here and find it. Heart of America.
Heart of America. Yeah.
Yep.
I always call it Liberty, and she knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
So we both did one.
Go ahead. You can show yours up close. And we put our initials on it. You can see them a little bit right here.
Yeah, right there.
Yep. And this was another one that we stitched it up, and it was just over a standard size frame. Is 11 by 14 or 11 and a quarter by 14. And we wanted it finished really, really bad. So my husband is a carpenter, and I went down to his shop and he helped me build these frames. He and I both built them. He did the first one, and then taught me how to do the second one. So we stained them and everything.
So we may have a frame maker in our midst. I'll be the finisher. She's gonna make frames.
Yep. So they're identical frames. One was done by my husband. One was done by me.
Do you know which is which?
Yours is the one done by Jim.
Okay. They're both so good that.
Aw, thanks.
Yeah. We're gonna let it. It's gonna go sliding off the table.
Yep. At least you don't have a dog to step all over him.
Excuse us.
We'll be right back. So I have this in here because I have finishes that aren't fully finished, because I don't fully finish things nearly as quickly as she does.
If you could see how much stuff I have stitched that is not finished, you would just laugh, because I want to spend all my time stitching.
Yeah.
I don't want to finish unless there's something that I really, really like that I just have to get finished right away. There's a glare on that. But Jamie was going to make me a frame for this because it's not standard. But I couldn't wait. So I went to Hobby Lobby and found this frame, and I thought it was beautiful. So this is Cinnamon Stars.
Yep. By
who?
You have it written down?
I have. Look at me. I've got everything written down on the back. I'm so good.
Okay. I can't remember you did that.
Everything's new. Cinnamon Stars by Plum Street Samplers. Hello. And I did this on 28 count coffee tea dyed Monaco. I did it in the called for colors, which were Gentle Arts and Weeks Dye Works, and that's something that I wanted to mention too. There's a glare.
Yeah.
So
it's so pretty. I love this.
Obviously, we watch a lot of Priscilla and Chelsea, so we got on the coffee tea dyed bandwagon for Monaco, and everything that we've stitched was on 28 count coffee tea dyed Monaco that we'd been doing ourselves. So then I decided to start venturing out into 40 count. So I started my first, speaking of first, coffee first on 40 count. What is this? 40 count Stars Hollow by R&R Reproductions. And I am loving 40 count. And I usually stitch in hand, and I started this one in a hoop because I thought it would be pretty difficult to do by hand. But then in the last few rows I switched to by hand, and it's just as simple, and I love it.
Yep.
So, so I may be switching. I may not, because 28 count, you can just whip it out pretty quick.
Yep. And we do working copies. We're hard on our patterns, so we always make a working copy. So if you see just a piece of paper like this, we have the actual chart in our stash. We just didn't want to mess it up.
Yeah, because I lay my elbows and everything else on it. And if you could see the table, you'd see everything that I lay on it.
Yep.
But yeah, I started this a while back, and then Academic Stitcher decided to do a stitch along. I had put it away, and she decided to do a stitch along, so
Yeah.
I picked it up again, and I love it. This is one of my favorite pieces. So
I started the stitch along, didn't finish, got distracted, found something else.
Yeah.
It's actually sitting on my table at home right now because I wanted to get back to it, but I got distracted with those other plans too. So
we applaud Jamie when she finishes something.
Yay!
It doesn't happen often.
So you showed one of your whips. Do you just want to go into whips and then we can maybe come back and do previous finishes that aren't fully framed?
Keep going on that because I jumped in where I shouldn't have. And
it's all good.
because I still have this one too.
Oh yeah, you do. Another one that you finished.
Not totally, but
again, so I'm not much of a finisher. So the rest of them I'm showing you are completely done, just not fully finished. This one is one of my favorites. It is Apple Orchard by Country Cottage Needleworks, I believe.
Someone should have done their research.
Right? I know. I asked you what I should remember and you didn't remember.
I couldn't remember what you needed to remember.
Right? So, I believe I started doing this in the called for colors, the DMC. This was prior to us doing overdyed flosses, but it just didn't have that pop. I love apples, and they should be the bright red and absolutely amazing. So I ended up switching, and I did a couple overdyeds, particularly the barn, the green, and the hazelnut color brown. I think everything else is in DMC. And I don't have those colors, but if you're interested in them, I do have them written down. I don't have it with me. So that's one of them. I just finished this one recently. This is one of my most recent finishes.
I love that.
Spirits and Spells by With Thy Needle and Thread. She is by far one of my most favorite art designers. Called for colors, 28 count coffee tea dyed Monaco. Actually, I think, yeah, all of them I'm about to show you are on 28 count Monaco. I am venturing out into different ones, but it'll take a little bit to start to see those in the process or in the parade. This one, oh, I love this one. It's slightly crooked. I'll fix it when I actually mount it. But I saw Priscilla doing this one, and every time she showed it, I absolutely fell in love with it again and loved it, loved it, loved it. This is Halloween Greetings by Teresa Kogut. She's got phenomenal patterns. Absolutely love what she does.
Yep, she's one of my favorites too.
Yep. This is another one that I was monogamous on. I started doing it. I started it for Mania this year, and I couldn't put it down. I would start my next Mania project and then switch over to this one because I just loved it. Loved it so much.
Like that one.
Right. So we decided when we were going to show you ones that we've done previously, we'd keep them kind of themed. So only the fall, the Halloween, Thanksgiving, because that's the time of year. We have plenty of other stuff we could show you, but we'll wait to do that later and each season kind of. And I absolutely, fall's my favorite time. I love stitching fall so much. So you'll see a lot of fall stuff from me, and Christmas. But this is Sunflower Inn by Little House Needleworks. Again, I know I said I wasn't monogamous, but I started stitching this one. I started it for Mania 2019, put it down, and then when I picked it back up, I couldn't put it down again. I finished it.
That's so cool.
I think I tweaked the colors slightly.
Is that the one we changed the yellow?
Yes.
The sunflowers?
Yes. And I think that is Queen Bee. Do you want to show that? And I will see if I can find it.
Our the color that we had for the sunflowers, I think, was actually called Sunflower by, was it Classic Colorworks?
I think so, yeah.
And for some reason, ours it was almost pink, and it just didn't look right.
Yeah, it was super pastel-y.
Yeah. So we changed them out to
Yep, I did Classic Colorworks Queen Bee.
Yeah, Queen Bee.
And I ended up changing all the colors too on this one.
All of them?
Yep, all of them. I love it. We use the Cross Stitch Journal by Fat Quarter Shop. That's how we log everything. So you can put in different patterns that you're working on, fabric, start dates, floss in it. I printed out pictures of everything.
Check out that back.
Oh, God.
My gosh. My back never looks anything like that. That is awesome.
Well, don't show this one because I jumped around on
horrible.
that one.
That was pretty horrible.
I don't mind showing my back. It's perfectly fine. So I just got 2 more. Oh, this one's next. This is the back we're speaking of. This is Which Better Have My Candy, which I think was absolutely fantastic. I saw this on Etsy and I had to have it. This is by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. It was so fun to do. Absolutely. And this is back she's talking about.
She's gutsy.
Yeah. These little
a lot of traveling.
Little tiny stitches in here. I was not about to do individual stitches there. So I absolutely traveled, and with the monocoat, you don't see through it at all. It's a tight weave, and then when you bake it in the oven too, it shrinks up a little bit. So the holes get a lot closer together. So I'm not worried about it showing through. I've never had a problem with that.
I love this one. I'm going to stitch this next.
Yeah. So this is the last one I have to show you. This is Let Us Be Thankful by Bent Creek. I love their stuff too. I've got all of these rows. So this is the Let Us Be Thankful row. I started it for Mania this year as well. Called for colors. trying to peek through, do the thing. Yep. Like I said, I've got all the other rows. So I've got the Trick or Treat row, which I want to start that or keep going on that in October. Got the Stars and Stripes Forever row. I guess I don't have all the rows. I have the holiday rows. So
that's a start.
Yep. I love it.
So here's one of my finishes that I forgot to show.
And you just finished this.
I just finished this yesterday.
And
this is Chillin'.
Mm-hmm. By the Drawn Thread.
By the Drawn Thread, thank you. And the Drawn Thread is known for having a few specialty stitches in it. And this one is no different. So I cut out a piece of sticky board.
And you haven't officially mounted it yet.
It's not officially mounted. It's not totally done. I got this box at Hobby Lobby.
Coffin box.
Coffin. So I cut this out. Mounted it on there, and I didn't know exactly what I was going to do with it when I started stitching it, so my piece wasn't quite big enough, so I had to put these ribbons on it to cover up the serged edges. So then I'm going to put this as a candy jar on my desk at work.
You just come in and you grab the piece of candy and then you eat the candy.
But I thought this was super adorable. And of course, Jamie came up with the idea of how to stitch it or how to finish it. She doesn't finish, but she has good ideas.
Yeah, like once in a million.
I thought that was super cute.
We'll put some Halloween candy in there.
Yeah.
Make it yummy.
Little skeleton bones would be cute.
Yep. Absolutely.
Candy corn, but nobody else is going to eat that. Mm-hmm.
So I eat it. I like it.
So are we doing these?
Yep. Go ahead.
So I'm working on, for my autumn stitch is
this first.
The Old Red Barn by Little House Needleworks.
Love this one. I saw this we saw it on Priscilla and Chelsea, and absolutely love their finishes on it. Chelsea showed it the very, very first floss tube that they had, and I loved it so much.
Anything with sunflowers on it, I'm gonna stitch it, as you can tell by my shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sunflowers.
Love sunflowers.
And America. Got the America.
So I've got the border at the bottom done, and I'm now working on the barn, which is super big and super easy to do. Super cute. Everything's super, it seems like today. Super. That's just super.
That's just absolutely super. And we're not showing you all of, I don't know what that message was that just showed, but we are still recording. We're not showing you all of our whips. We don't do any kind of rotation or anything. It's just whatever suits our fancy. Like I said, I'm a squirrel, very much a squirrel. So I could have plans and change it immediately. So
Do we need to explain what squirrel means?
well,
Squirrel.
yeah, pretty much. Oh, look over there. I should work on that one.
So I'm working on this. Oh, squirrel.
Yeah, pretty much.
Again, this is a working copy and it's not a good copy, but I do have the original pattern. This is Pumpkins for Sale by Little House Needleworks. And I finished the border. I had another pumpkin done, but I really didn't like the colors. Plus I'm putting it on, I have a plan for a finish and the colors just didn't go with that finish. So I matched different colors up to what I plan on doing, and I'll continue on with this probably starting today. So hopefully I'll have that finished next time we decide to do a video, and I can show that to you.
Yeah. Whoever frogged that did a great job.
Oh, didn't she? I'm telling you. I would just soon start the whole thing over again than have to frog. So
I wasn't about to let her do that. I will frog that pumpkin for you. It is not a big deal. Do not let that stop you from working on this. So what's next?
Okay.
We're back.
we ran out of space, obviously, on our phone. We have to figure this out. So hopefully we can figure out how to piece this together. We didn't realize we would have that much stuff to show, so we'll hurry it up a little bit.
Yeah, we thought it'd be pretty quick. Yeah, absolutely.
So once you finish showing your web stuff.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that's where we left off. Again, like I said, I really like Teresa Kogut, so this is one of my webs that I've been working on. This is called Moon Dance. It is done on black fabric, so the black is not stitched. Everything else is stitched. I currently have it in a Q-snap, so I kind of go back and forth. Most of the time I do in hand, but sometimes I do in a Q-snap. I did this one just to see if I could do it faster. There's a border here that's kind of underneath the Q-snap. But this is the start. Do you want to hold that one? So there's the start of her broom right there, and then the roots on the tree right there. So that's kind of where I'm at. Not a whole lot done, but progress. I started this for Mania this year. This is a restart actually. So when we started Mania last year, I did a lot of stuff on Ada still. Hadn't financially made the move into different types of fabric. I had some stash. But this is a pattern that we had. It's called America. There's a bad glare. This is in a Pretty Southern bag that I bought from her. Linda Jo, Pretty Southern. I'll just take it out of that. I had to show the bag off though.
Yeah, it's a pretty bag.
Yes. So there that is. It's an older pattern. Actually, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure who the designer is. This was given to me by somebody at work who no longer wanted it. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Actually, just have you find that. So like I said, I started this on on Ada, and I decided I didn't want to do it anymore on Ada, and I wanted to switch. So this is on, let's see, dyed Monaco, blue dyed Monaco that we did. That's just the start of the heart. You can see a little bit of the stars right there.
I really like that fabric.
I think it's really made it pop because I just had it done on Oatmeal Ada. And as you can tell, like with the pattern, the Oatmeal Ada would allow you to not have to stitch that. So by switching to this blue, I am going to have to stitch all of those. But it's worth it. Yeah. I think the fabric really makes it.
So this is how she keeps track of her stuff. She puts a picture in here, which is really good. You don't have a pattern designer, you just have it listed as America. Yeah. 28 count blue dyed antique white Monaco.
Gotcha. I probably have it in my spreadsheet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have a spreadsheet.
She spreadsheets everything.
Yep. So mom is like she said she had done all of the cottages for Country Cottage. Okay, Country Cottage Needleworks. I started smaller, and I'm doing the hands-on design year celebrations. I have 5 left, so I actually started in October last year and worked my way through the months. I am currently working on May. It is not done. I have about 70% of it done. My goal is to get these done by the end of the year. Like, I only have 5 left. But it's easy for me to get distracted, even though they're super small. Yeah, super small. But so I have everything in this bag. We're quilters, so we talked about that. So we do make our own bags. We buy bags too. We like to support Etsy and other designers and other Etsy owners. But we did make this bag just with some fabric we had in our stash. We found a pattern online and just started doing it. Don't remember where I was going with that, but other than I just want to show a pretty picture of a pretty bag. Those are the main whips I have. We do have one more whip. With quilting, everything that we do is primarily like we both do the same quilts, but of our own quilts. So we do 2 of every quilt for the most part. We have decided to do that with cross stitch too. I found this pattern.
I have mine in my Lori Holt bag from Fat Quarter Shop.
Yep. I also.
Yes.
I do too. It's perfect. It's a great size for it.
Love this bag.
This is a massive project, but I saw this on Instagram or Facebook one day. Absolutely loved it. It's not my style whatsoever. At all is my style. I didn't get a pattern or a name or anything, and then I saw it again about a year later, and I'm like, that's it. That's the one. I have to buy this.
So she talked me into it, and it's like, no. And she's like, oh, come on, Mom. So we both bought it. We both downloaded it. We're both doing it.
It is called Uninvited Guest.
And there's so much black, and it's full coverage.
By Charting Creations. So we did purchase it on Etsy.
I didn't turn mine over. I've got to clear on mine.
That's okay.
So they only need to see one anyway.
So we did. We downloaded this. We printed it out. The whole thing. It is a book. I think there's like 60 some odd pages to it. I ended up buying a binder because I absolutely wanted it to be the spiral binding. So you just flip it open, do what you need to do, work on it from there.
So we're doing it as a stitch along between the 2 of us, and we agreed that we would do 400 stitches a week. And then we figured out at 400 stitches a week, it would take us
like 9.2 years or something like that.
So we really need to step it up.
And I think I'm already 3 weeks behind.
This is where I'm at so far. And I think I have maybe 1,200 stitches.
It is 550 stitches wide by 412 stitches tall. And we're doing it.
And you're pretty much same place, aren't you?
You got a little bit more done than I do.
Yeah.
I'm trying the diagonal stitching. Never done it before.
I tried it and I get distracted, so that's what I washed out. I squirrel, yeah. So I'm not a fan of the diagonal stitching at the moment. I'm still trying to teach myself, and parking stitches is just not. That's too much mess. It's just too much mess for me. All that, no.
I do a modified version of it, so I am trying to do the diagonal, but as you can see, I just kind of work my way down because I hate starting and stopping threads. I think it's ridiculous. But we do have these in a Q-snap. This is about the size of project that I need a Q-snap for. I cannot do this one in hand. We're doing it on 20 count white Lugana, 1/1. This is a needle minder that we made. It's just a button we bought at Joann's or something, and I glued it to a magnet. And then we got the grime guard. We don't generally use a grime guard, but there's so much fabric in here. I know it's washing out, but there's just so much fabric. So we had to find a way to contain it.
Yeah, it's still a lot. And then we made these boards. What do you call them?
Fat Quarter Shop. They're by Lori Holt with Fat Quarter. Well, Lori Holt with Riley Blake, and Fat Quarter Shop sells them. So we
It's
have
just
a
like a
version
mini
of that.
design board.
Yeah.
So Jamie made these, and that way we can keep track of all of our floss. And I have these little pieces of paper that I just stick the design or the
symbols on them.
the symbol on
Yeah.
it, so I know which color goes where, because it's
Trying to keep
all
track of
just
it.
at
Ugh.
this point different shades of black.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. There's, I think,
It's a beautiful pattern, but at this point, if you
Absolutely.
can tell, I am not loving stitching it.
I am. I love it.
She is, and she's keeping me going.
It is completely outside of our normal,
Yeah.
but I think it's good to have it.
Yeah.
It
It won't be done by Halloween, I
No,
can tell you that.
no. I have quite a few larger projects that I have started. I do love doing it. That's what I started
I
with.
like large.
I do, but I get distracted. So I get started, and then I find something else to work on, and then I come back and I work on it again. Okay, so that's all I have for whips.
I think that's all I have too. I've shown everything.
Okay. So let's see. We have just a tiny bit of haul. As you can imagine, we've
This little.
purchased a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But we didn't really plan on that part of the program, so we didn't bring as much of it. Speaking of big projects.
And we still have more haul in the mail too.
Oh,
by the
yeah.
way. Just waiting for
I'm
it.
just waiting for it to ship. I got some fabric from 123 Stitch.
So I downloaded this off the internet. It's a free pattern from Autumn Lane Stitchery called Current Mood, which pretty much describes me. So I'm gonna do that and put it over my desk at work, and then
All your employees know.
everybody will leave me alone. Hopefully.
Yep, absolutely. Speaking of Autumn Lane Stitchery, we got this particular pattern. It is Hallows Eve Haunting. I fell in love with this pattern. So like I said, this is not my cup of tea, but I keep getting pulled into it. I absolutely love them.
I didn't think I liked Halloween until I started stitching, and now that's my favorite season to stitch.
Yep. So this is on murky fabric. So we actually have all of that. We've kitted it up and everything.
We both bought it, so we're gonna do it as our October stitching.
Yep. Yep. And the fabric really makes it.
Yeah.
I mean, it just, wow. Okay. Next.
So we got on the bandwagon with Coming to America by Brenda Gervais,
We both have one. Mine's at home. I didn't bring it.
which again, she is our favorite. I mean, we buy everything she does, whether we're ready to stitch it or not.
Yeah. And we're not ready to stitch this one. We're not really working on it at all, but it's a limited release and we didn't want to miss the opportunity to have it. And it comes in a box.
And we will
So-
stitch it, yeah. But she also included extra pattern, Harvest Greetings.
Which is adorable.
And I will be stitching this. I'm going to try and get this one done for Thanksgiving this year.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I don't have many Thanksgiving pieces.
Yep.
So that's my plan.
And my most recent purchase, so speaking of large projects, every purchase I seem to do is bigger and bigger.
Crazy.
And oh
Crazy.
my god. And this one is going to be stitched on black, so I'm in for it.
Yeah.
I-
Eat your protein.
Right? I absolutely love horses. I grew up with horses. I've been riding since I was 12. I don't have any horses right now. They are very, very expensive, but I love them. I saw this pattern. I could not pass it up.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So it is, let's see, 252 stitches wide and 722 stitches long. Dear Lord. Yeah.
It will be gorgeous when it's done.
Yep. So it doesn't actually call, I guess it does call for white fabric, but all of this is black, is stitched. So I'm going to go all crazy and do it on black 25 count, probably Lugana.
So are you going to do 2/2?
I'm going to do 2/1 with a tent stitch. I'm going to try that for this one.
Okay. For all of it or just?
For all of
because you're
it.
not backstitch or
Doing the
doing
black.
blacks.
Yeah. So I was researching because I research. And I don't remember who it is right now, but they have basically what I did, I Googled 2/2 and 1/1 and how that coverage looked. I don't remember what I Googled, but I wanted to know what the coverage looked like on different fabrics. And there is a website that actually has pictures of what that looks like. So going through it, if you do 2 threads in the tent stitch, you get virtually the same coverage as 1 thread in a full cross stitch.
Okay.
So, and it could go faster.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because this one, I'm going to be like
Or you'll get your little tent done
110.
and you'll come back and do the other side of your tent.
Oh dear, no. Oh no. No, no.
So, I think that's all we have for you today.
Do you want to talk about any plans or?
No, I think the video's gone on long enough.
Yeah. So thank you guys for being here with us, suffering through it.
Yeah.
Hopefully it was pretty fun.
Please give us a like and a subscribe, and hopefully we can come back in a couple of weeks and do it again, because we have a lot of stuff.
Yes, we do. It's not the easiest thing to sit in front of a camera, and I know everybody says that on their first time. I am an introvert, so every time Mom's been like, hey, you need to do this with me. We need to do this. I'm like, oh, no, I'm okay.
I need a shot. Not a flu shot either.
And I'm not even that big of a drinker.
But,
Yep.
Yeah, I think we survived. Hopefully you guys like it and you'll come back.
And we'll talk about how we got started in our next video and kind of use that and what our plans are for October and different thoughts we have there. So,
yep.
Okay.
Thank
you. Bye, guys.
Bye.